So I wanted to answer some really cool questions about Hearthstone Battlegrounds, so I made a survey and it got nearly 2,000 replies, 1,180 at the moment, so we're gonna take a look at some questions that we finally are gonna get answers to, and some really interesting insights that I did not expect, which I hope you will find interesting and fun as well. What is the best tribe in the game? Now, there was a bit of confusion around this question because if I just asked what is the strongest tribe in the game, I was scared that people just look at win rates and you can just put the highest win rate tribe in. And also, like, what tribe is actually best? APM Pirates with infinite gold is technically the best, or maybe Leaper comp, like perfect, uncounterable Exodia. The strongest comp with tier 6 that snowballs the most is Naga. Beasts are the best if you just want to gain ranks and get top 4s. So every tribe is best in their own regard and can snowball and high roll. So I really wanted to see how people interpret this freely and just choose what you think is the best tribe that you enjoy playing the most. Now, I saw this diagram change over time. It's really cool to see it now come to like this conclusion, because the best one right now undoubtedly is Pirates. This was not the case at first. It was actually Elementals for a while, but Pirates quickly took over and is now 21%. And I can see why, because APM Pirates Infinite Gold I think will always just be the strongest thing, if you have the APM of course. Next up is actually Murlocs. Murlocs was not doing well for a while, so it also overtook the other tribes the longer this survey went on at 14.5%. And I guess Murloc just sees a lot of play in lower ranks and it's just very easy to get snowballing. Then in a close third place we have Quillboars, which Quillboars is my favorite tribe. I don't think it's the strongest, but I think it has a lot of potential. And then Elementals. I was actually surprised to see Elementals so high up for so long. I don't think it's that good of a tribe. Now with Nomi, of course, you can kind of snowball and do all of these crazy things. But yeah, Elementals now in fourth. Then it is Beasts with 11.4%, followed up by Mechs with 10.8%. And then it's actually a tie. Naga and... oh no, Dragons has one more vote. Dragon has 6.4% and Naga same, but with 120 votes and it's 121. It's actually surprising to see Naga this low, because Dragons is in a pretty bad spot right now. It rarely wins. So seeing it in the same bucket as Naga seems like a lot of people are undervaluing how good Naga is, especially on tier 6 and in higher ranks. And last but not least, Demons still seem to be the worst, even after all of the reworks that we saw and them changing the tribe completely. So pretty surprised to see this. A lot of people seem to enjoy Demons. But this is the info I got from 1,880 replies. Do with it whatever you want. Next up, I want to know what the best like temporary update was or event that they did for the game, and about 50% said quests, so the majority of people, and I have to agree with that. I think quests are the most interesting right now. They basically took buddies but made it way more flexible, and I think you can just win every game now. You have potential to win, while previously with both buddies and Dark Moon prizes you can get screwed from the start. Now still there's balance issues, quests are not perfect. I'm hoping that they will keep working on this, but I think it's the healthiest and the best thing we've seen in the game in a while. And it's about 50-50 between buddies and Dark Moon prizes. Now, I'm actually surprising to see this many people still vote for the Dark Moon prizes. I honestly almost forgot that they even existed. Now, an interesting question that I also wanted to get an answer to is how many people bought the perks or are going to buy them. Now, keep in mind, this survey is not like massive. This does not encompass all of the player base, only those most engaged and that actually follow me on YouTube or on Twitter. So that's probably going to be a bit biased as well. Keep that in mind. But still, according to those people and all of those replies, about 30% bought it or is going to buy it, and about 69%, it's a nice number, did not buy it, which is actually surprising. I expected way more people to buy it. Then again, 30% of almost 2,000 people is still a lot of people that bought the pass, so a lot of money going to Blizzard. So I guess we're gonna keep the pass and they're probably not gonna change it knowing how much money it is gonna make them. But hey, we got this stat now. Again, it's not super accurate, but it's still interesting to see that out of the people that do watch this channel, 70% did not buy it and 30% did. Now this is the most interesting question. I asked how much they enjoy the current game on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me move it a bit. And this is such an interesting curve. The majority of people actually really enjoy the game right now and gave it an 8 out of 10. And then the second like biggest pile here is a 7. And there's barely any people that put 1 or 2 or even 3 or 4 in their votes. Even 5. Like, all of this encompasses such a small percentage of people. So the majority or overwhelming majority of people that replied to this survey really enjoy the game. So yeah, there you have it. When people say the game is dying and no one is liking it right now, this kind of proves that a lot of people are still enjoying it. I also wanted to know how many hours people on average spend playing this game that answered this survey, so we kind of have an idea of how engaged this player base that we're looking at actually is. And again, very interesting results. The majority of people spends between 5 to 10 hours a week playing it, so about 1 hour a day. I would still call this more casual, although 1 hour a day of playing a game means you're kind of in the loop of things and still very much into it. Then the second largest part at 30% is 2 to 5 hours, so a little bit less. And again, this could be 1 hour a day, it could also just be one weekend, right? Like just play a lot in the weekend. I don't know how people divide their time. The green part at 23.4% is more than 10 hours, so it seems like about 1/4 of people do play this game a lot, and then actually less than 10% plays less than 2 hours a week, which I always thought there was going to be a very big like casual audience that plays, you know, less than 2 hours a week but still watches a lot of content or still is active in the game. But I did not expect less than 10% to only play less than 2 hours. So again, pretty interesting results and cool to see. Now we're going into the spicy stuff that well, is not just pure graphs, but I basically went through over 1,000 single replies, and I'm gonna give you a breakdown. So the next question was, which card would you like to see removed from the game? And I got, let me count, more than 70 different cards named. I didn't count all the cards that only were named once, so all of these cards were named multiple times. Now here's the top 10 of cards that people want to see gone from the game. At number 10, we have a Soul Juggler. I don't think that comes too much as a surprise. Soul Juggler, a lot of people I see complaining about it because your shit gets sniped, and I think the card can definitely feel toxic facing it early on. So that's number 10. Number 9 is one I did not see coming, and that is Tavern Tipper. Apparently a lot of people hate Tavern Tipper more than Soul Juggler and more than a bunch of other cards. I've never had any problems with it. I wonder what causes it. I think some people typed, oh, I hate facing this early. It's just, you can't beat this early on. Fair enough. I just didn't see this coming. Now, next up on 8 is actually our beloved Hogger. A lot of people seem to not like infinite gold and massive stats, and facing a Hogger comp, you definitely just know you lose. If you see someone with a golden Hogger early, you kind of know you're playing for second place. So I definitely think Hogger is a flawed design, but it's still so fun to play with. Now in 7th place, Baron. I think the main catalyst for this answer, and so many people answering it, is probably Frogger comp, because Baron just enables these combo compositions, especially now that we have stolen gold, you can instantly make a golden, and the other quests that can add stealth. Like Baron has just become so much more toxic in the latest patch. Combo comps just being so much better because of these reasons. You don't need to scale, you just need to find a couple cards. Yeah, Baron probably deserves to be looked at, or maybe the cards surrounding it making it strong. In 6th we got Khadgar. Khadgar, again, a card that is kind of in the game for no reason right now. All it does is support combo compositions. Again, Scallywag and Eliza, those stupid, like, what's it called? Scallywag combos. You're infinite attacking in. It's very stupid, but Khadgar has like these niche applications. Other than that, it doesn't see a whole lot of play. Doesn't make anything cool viable. So Khadgar is very high up in here. Now, number 5. This is also not going to be a surprise, it's Manted Queen. Whenever there's poison, people are going to complain. So Manted Queen wins most endgames. A lot of people really want this card gone, but trust me, if Manted Queen is gone, the game is going to fall apart. You're just going to see all of these giga high rollers in the endgame that you can't do anything against. I think the game needs Manted Queens. It's a healthier version of Amalgadon, I'm still pretty sure of, but I do see why a lot of people named it. Then in 4th place, this one kind of blew me away, but it's also Teotar, the T guy, the new 6-drop neutral we got, because apparently, you know, it saw very little play. A lot of people deemed it being bad. Same with me, it felt like a very useless 6-drop neutral, but after trying it out and seeing others also having success with it, I kind of turned around and I kind of started believing in the T and in the scaling this can do. I would look twice at Teotar before removing it and look at the stats, but still interesting to see so many people wanting this card gone. Then top 3. First of all, Toxfin. Toxfin, I guess it's another poison card. People are gonna always complain about poison, so Toxfin, 3rd place. 2nd place is Leapfrog. So Leapfrog again in combination with Baron. I get it, Leapfrog is just kind of bullshit right now. If you hit stolen gold or the stealth, it's just stupid. You find a couple cards and suddenly you have like 1,000 stupid rats on your board that clears any sort of like hard-working scaling composition. So Leapfroggers probably needs to only be looked at, or it's very easy to counter though. I think in lower ranks a lot of people just have trouble dealing with leapers, while in higher ranks it is pretty easy to counter. So, but now number 1, the most hated card, and it was not even close. This one was like twice as many votes as Leapfrog. This is Leroy. But yes, Leroy is the most voted card, and people want to see this gone. Again, I think that is not a good idea. People just take Leroy because they keep losing to the card, and someone plays Leroy, your big dude dies, you're like, F this card, I want it removed from the game. But a game without Leroy, I think, is gonna be, again, just mad high rolling. You're always gonna lose to the guy with a big battle master. So keep that in mind. These stack cards are important. But yeah, so Leroy, most hated card. Now, onto a question that maybe was a mistake. Some people are down bad. But I asked what hero you would date. Who is the most dateable hero in Hearthstone Battlegrounds? So let's start off with the female characters. First of all, number 10, we have HysteriA. A lot of people like HysteriA. And number 9, we have Alex Strauza. I assume all of these are human form, of course. Then Maiev. I think Maiev, probably the pool skin, is what's gonna grab people's attention. And number 7 is Queen Ashara. Actually, Queen Ashara got mentioned quite a bit, more than I expected. I almost forgot that the 0 is even in the game. I don't see it that often, but she's pretty high up there. Next up is Tess, and I like that someone wrote Tess because she stole my heart. That was clever. Followed up with number 5, Arana. I expected Arana to be quite higher, not gonna lie. Number 4, this is one of my personal favorites, Xyrella. Followed up by number 3, another very famous one, Jandis. And then once we're in the top 3, moving on to the second place, is gonna be Elise. I expected Elise to be first, but there's a big gap between second and first place. So now first place again was not even close. It's got more than twice the amount of votes than Elise, and that is AFK. Hey, this is not me, okay? This is not my doing, this is you. You guys made this list, not me. Now on to the men, and some weird ones. Like, I'm not gonna include Katoon. It's not because you guys have a thing for tentacles that I'm gonna include Katoon, okay? 10th place was Milhouse. Some people just seem to like gnomes. 9th place was Rafam. And please, the amount of fanfics and thirsty lines I had to read about Rafam. I'm scarred for life. I want to bleach my eyes. 8th place is Edwin, because someone mentioned that Edwin might give nice, sweet smoochies. 7th place, Daddy Denefrius. I'm not gonna lie, literally half of the people who put Denefrius put Daddy Denefrius. Like, 6th place, this is technically not a hero, but it was mentioned so much that it made it on the list, and I decided, sure, why not? And that is Bob. A lot of people are thirsting over Bob the bartender. 5th place is Togwaggle. I don't know why, but Togwaggle. And 4th place, Flurgle. Now, top 3. A lot of people chose for 3rd place here, Gallywix. They just want the sugar daddy. They're just out for money. 2nd place is Patches. Apparently Patches is very dateable, again, maybe because of the tentacles. I don't know. I'm trying to keep it PG here, but this is getting rough. And in 1st place, not even close again with twice the amount of votes from 2nd, is Reno. Apparently Reno is the giga chat that a lot of people would want to date, and I don't blame you, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe in an alternate timeline I would say the same. Honorable mention, 33 people said me, Ben, and my DMs are open. And then 4 people said your mom, so f you guys. Now, last but not least, I put out a question asking if there's anything else you want to mention, and I actually went through all of them, all 1,500 replies that I got. It took me a couple hours, but there's some stuff in here that I wanted to share. So the first thing I read was remove runestones from your game, and this is something that I saw a lot of people just complaining about runestones. It is clear that people are still very upset about this new currency in the game. I have not interacted with it because I play Battlegrounds. I don't need to buy runestones, but yeah, so runestones is still on everyone's mind, and you're not alone. Then someone wrote, subscribe and leave a like for those of you that happen to see me smile. I like this. Don't forget to do that. Still feels bad choosing from 2 hero options, a sad face, but I'm not gonna buy the perks. Again, something I saw a lot, which was the perks. So runestones I saw a lot, and then people complaining about the perks. I'm just bringing this up because I had to read this like hundreds and hundreds of times over and over. Just know that it's still very much on everyone's mind, but I don't know if it's gonna be changed, honestly. Like, we've had this debate a lot about perks and about the new battle pass. Some people think it's fine, I think it's great. Other people think they should have done it differently, which is what I think. But again, this is just like such a loaded situation right now that clearly does not affect the game. A lot of people are still really enjoying the game if you look at the numbers from at least the survey of the people that wanted to reply. So that hasn't really held back people from playing the game as much. I've had a lot of comments of people saying they quit the game because of this, but we'll have to still see how it evolves. I hate how much APM is required nowadays. It's hard to do if I play on mobile. Yes, it is. Like, the game got so much more and more APM. There's a lot of combos that you need a lot of like fast actions for. A lot of, whenever I play Murlocs with Flurgle, or I play Pirates, or even Elementals, I need to be so fast that even on computer, and with all of the animations that play, like the quest animations take up like 7 seconds or 8 seconds of your time. I've roped out multiple times. A lot of people complain about this. The game just becomes quicker and quicker. And indeed, like, a lot of people also complaining about mobile. The state of how Hearthstone Battlegrounds is played on mobile is incredibly annoying. And I'm hoping that at some point they will reduce the amount of actions required in the game, even though it can be fun sometimes, makes for good content. I see too many people just being frustrated with this. Please, Ben, let me see the kids. I miss them. I hope they change Leapfrog's effect to your charged minions have +1 attack. I agree. Watermelon. Just watermelon. This guy wrote watermelon. Then there was this guy who wrote like an entire paragraph on, I've got this explanation on why Arowana Starseeker is literally the best dating option. So there's an entire like book on why Arowana is the supreme waifu in Hearthstone Battlegrounds. You know, it's just because that's possible. I wish there were more experimental game modes, something like a wild mode. A lot of people suggested this. It would be kind of cool to see like a wild game mode exactly with like returning cards, but also just other ways that you can interact with the game, like a sandbox mode where you can set custom rules with friends, like you start on temperature 6, or you have only this much gold, or only this tribe, or just like a weekly rotational tavern event, like the tavern brawl, but for like Battlegrounds. There's so many cool things you can do with Battlegrounds, so I'm kind of sad that we don't even have an unranked mode. You can only play one mode of Battlegrounds, this one Q button, which is always ranked and always the same. So I really wish we had some variety there. I'm fully nude right now. Delete the entire dragon tribe, it sucks so badly, plus isn't fun, both Targosa and Kaligos comps. Dragons have indeed been like one of the more boring tribes right now, or one of the worst tribes right now. It is true that dragons probably need some sort of rework. Like, Kaligos compositions don't scale as much as a lot of the other compositions and the power creep that we got in the game. The only thing that kind of compares is now with Soul and Gold. You can get golden Taragosas and then like promo drakes and scale that up, and even give them the vouchers now with the new free drop dragon. But we've seen them rework demons, we've seen them rework other tribes like beasts in the past. Dragons is still one of the older tribes in the game that hasn't seen much of a rework yet. I mean, a slight rework, but they definitely didn't touch the scaling of that. So hopefully, like they rework demons, they will rework dragons in a more severe way, where the actual scaling of the composition is looked at. How the are heroes like Sindargosa and Togwaggle in the same game? Yes, they keep on adding and piling on bad heroes and introducing more in the game, and I'm really hoping that they take out heroes. Again, the main benefit from runestones I see is that they can actually take out heroes now, and if you have skins for that hero, they can refund the runestones that skin costs, that you can get a new or buy a new skin with that. That's like one upside I see from runestones, that they can actually rotate stuff out now while being able to refund. I don't think that's gonna happen though, but still. The hero diversity, like we have 86 heroes right now, has always been a big issue, and I saw this again pop up quite a lot, and I still see this a lot everywhere, people complaining about how the power levels don't match. So again, I hope they stay true to their word of balancing heroes, which is what they said in the last big patch, that they're gonna try and keep hero balance as optimal as possible. So playing with the perks or without the perks is not gonna matter as much on a competitive level, which currently it kind of does. Yes, just I hope this does indeed happen. I miss Gentle Megasar. It was broken good times. Well, you're lucky that this is anonymous, because I will find you. Anyway, I also saw so many people just leaving a nice message here saying that they enjoy the content and that they like the streams and stuff like that. I just want to say a genuine thank you. It just really put a smile on my face reading through all of this and all of the nice supportive comments that you left. This was just honestly such an amazing experiment. I'm really happy about it. Anyway, thank you for watching. This was a really fun video to make. Very interesting, I think, and a bit different, but let me know what you thought of this down below, and I might do more of these. Thank you for watching.